Hello, welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog, issue 72. We got someone laughing in the background. One thing you might notice about this is not the comic, but the sides. Yeah, we got new character sprite models, or images. If the characters have changed their design, it makes sense to update them. Anyway, let's begin. Say, what gives with this gizmo, Nate? All I see is a stack full of static. That's the reason I read that stack full of static, because, I don't know, I'm dumb sometimes. This is called Robotnik. Of course you do, Sonic. Mainly because this here telecrate requires a broadcast to be sent before it shows anything else besides static. And how exactly do you and Brother come up with this? Do it again? It was easy to build this and hundreds of others by combining Robotnik leftover tech with a freshly forged batch of power rings. Tails is still brown for some reason. Like, that does not look anything like this adventure artwork, but Sonic's does. So it's like, what's going on? What is going on there? It took us a little over 2 weeks to make sure that there was a telecrate for every home here in Knothole Village, in our capital city of Metropolis. Otherwise, how would all the citizens in the King of Acorns, see and hear King Max's address later on this evening? Must be really important if everybody gets a new hunk of hardware by royal decree, huh? What's your dad got to say anyway, Sally? Guess it was Sonic saying that, but I don't know, because there was just a little text box. Even I don't know the answer to that one, Sonic. I only know that I have to be back at the castle by the time he says it. Guys, well, now that my work with Mr. Morgan's over, I figured now it was the time to go search for my folks. Last time I saw them, they were being mind-controlled by Robotnik up in the Arctic. Wow, Ro, I can't believe it. Totally forgot. Good luck. We'll miss you. And I have blue arms now. Later at Castle Acorn, Sally, Uncle Nate. Hi, Daddy. We're back from the village. Wow, would you just look at this place? Look indeed. It's like the Great Witch spoke out to my throne room. Never you mind. Okay, the wrong character. Never mind, Max, old friend. Of all the telecrates have been intruded throughout the land. Now your subjects at at home awaiting your announcement today. It is a great day. Father, what do you exactly intend to tell the populace? Well, Elias, I need to inform them of the mysterious illness that keeps your mother, Queen Leisha, in a perverted state of slumber. Apparently that's important for people to know about my woes and pains and aches and woes. Oh, my tragic character. And if Sokka tells us to being sorceress Ixis Nuggus. I didn't see that until now because I was too busy reading the dialogue, but why the fuck is Chester Cheetah in this comic? Like, why? Alright, take your place, people. Lights, camera, action. Good evening, Kingdom of Acorn. This is King Maximilian Acorn. It's been a long and winding road to the restoration of our beautiful Robotropolis. And as you all know, we worked very hard to get here. I'm taking a moment now to extend my thanks and that of the entire royal family to each of you and your efforts over the past few months. But although we've managed to clean up our city outwardly, robotics factories have affected its ecosystem on a far deeper level. I had 'em steal one of these boxes for this? You gotta be kidding. Mother Mobius will obviously require the necessary time in which to heal herself, and as creatures of both conscience and intellect, it is our sacred duty to aid her. We can achieve this in the following ways. Meanwhile, up above, the world's so high. Insight unit back online. Incomesting system location up target. Target acquired. System lock and beginning activation. Now. A new golden age in which Squirrel K-pop presents for the first and only time the illustrious biography of the world's renowned super scientist known to the nitwit half-wit brain cells as Dr. Robotnik, the greatest overlander who ever lived. Born into the prestigious house of Ivo in the year, let's not discuss what year it was, Julian Kinderberg was obviously destined to make a lasting impression. Julian was the sole son of the Kinderberg clan to be blessed by an astounding intellect, a broader brain capacity, and By the by, he also had an annoying brother named Colin. Anyways, years went on, his body grew to match his vast IQ, and as a young man, he became assistant to a local geophysician in the city of Megalopolis. A Nathaniel somebody or the other thought it wasn't long before the Julian himself was in charge of the lab. Time out of then out of nowhere, the fleeping furry. Oh, there's a furry. It happens. The Overlanders were forced to share the planet with. Began the greatest war ever seen. I forgot the name of it. The Ministry of Conflict called upon every genius in Megapolis to devise weapons of mass destruction. Julian knew better. He created a device called the Ultimate Annihilator. All that was needed to power it was a rare mineral ore that was never received. Instead of praising the misunderstood intellectual, Colin Kintabor, now Minister of Justice, foolishly punished him for his efforts. Come on, was it really so bad that Julian had intended to use his own people as test subjects for the ghastly gadget? Rather than enduring the 10-year imprisonment to which his traitorous brother sentenced him, Julian used his cunning to effect a heroic escape beyond the moving Badlands. Tired. Where he was found by two Mobian savages. Didn't do him any harm. They were hedgehogs. No real threat, as a matter of fact. They took him to their leader, King Max. Now here was a sucker who could spot greatness in a split second. Wasn't long for old Max. He practically handed over control of his realm to Julian. First, was the wash up of a warlord. Kudos was ordered to instruct the new arrival in the art of warfare. After all, who knew the Overland's weakness better than Julian? In second it was Julian who replaced Kudos for learning everything he had to teach. Go ahead and act yourself. Wasn't he the best man for the job? For the first time, the inferior Mobian ground troops had the necessary brain and brawn required to shift the war in Mobotropolis' favor. Days later, Julian's dim-witted nephew Snively arrived at the War Ministry building to pledge his allegiance to his uncle. But Julian, never content to just rest on his laurels, decided that beating back the Overlanders wasn't enough. He declared, "You're hunting, but I'm recording late at night before I go to bed because I'm a weirdo." He desired now to remodel the face of Mobius. It would take an artificial army. And the subject of Sir Charles Hedgehog's robot has a newly invented device that was supposed to help cure the wounded. And so it was on that morning, more than a decade ago, a massive metal flagship appeared over the Mobotropolis skyline. Her alternate and who claimed responsibility for this new industrial age? Was it Julian Kindenberg? No, it's Dr. Robotnik, the greatest thinking mind of all time! Like, oh yeah, the little ship from the Sadian, that wasn't in the comics, from what I've read so far, so yeah. But there were the ignorant few who had adhered to the ways of tradition and opposed Robotnik's reforms. They were dealt with. But the other Momians took advantage of all the new jobs that the good doctor had created and willingly volunteered themselves to undergo the changes needed to work in his posh factories. As if being absolute ruler of the entire world wasn't difficult enough, there was also an upstart rebel group to contend with, notably Sonic the Hedgehog and his rabble arousers. After taking a hometown trip to the overlander city of Megapolis, Robotic was shocked to find the location entirely deserted. Too bad he had brought them a surprise. Later, one of his many efforts to end the menace that is Sonic, Dr. Robotnik was seemingly vaporized by his own creation, the synthetic being known as Eve. But instead of traveling to the afterlife, he found himself stranded in an alternate future where he would have remained had he not met his counterpart in that reality, the mechanized Robo-Robotnik. Just imagine if the great all-powerful Robo-Robotnik had returned Julian to Robotropolis, he would never have seen his enemy punished for the alleged murder of Sally Acorn. But the truth, so many historic figures, the good doctor sacrificed his own life in the service of this planet, protecting her from evil. This has been a service of K-Bot. Thank you and good night. No way! This is what Sally's dad wanted to tell us? I'd better. Are you there, Sonic? Right here, Sal. You sort of read my mind. What's going on over there? We're still trying to figure it out. Seems there might have been a glitch in the Robotechnique in the rotor used to build the telecrates. The director thinks that might explain the pirate broadcast.
Makes sense. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Sal. Good night.
Son, any word on what happened with tonight's broadcast?
Just a false alarm, folks. I guess that's what we get for using Robotnik's equipment to start with. Well,
What's fogging the old noggin, sonny boy?
over the last few weeks, I've been thinking to myself that it's kind of lame not being a freedom fighter anymore. Especially when Sal told me we need to have to start school again. But now I'm actually glad there's peace in other words. In other words, I guess I got so used to being Robotnik's enemy that somewhere along the way I forgot how to be your son. That is like way past over.
Way past, son, way past. And somewhere far away from now.
Well, Snivelly. It seems you're getting the opportunity to see what the denizens in the kingdom of Acorn did not. Undeniable evidence that it was your treachery that caused your uncle's unfortunate demise. For that, I brand you a traitor.
No, not you! See you in 30 days. And yeah, that's the end of that. Oh, what's this? Tales of the Great War, Part 1, written by our friend Ken Benders. Since the time of Alexander, Mobians lived in relative peace and tranquility. Of all who dwelled in the land surrounding the kingdom, the most mysterious were the overlanders. According with them was few and far between and quite benign, till one fateful day when Prince Emerson stood facing a young overlander boy across from Roundabout Creek. Hello? Who are you? My name is Emerson. What's yours? Paladin! My friends call me Paladin. Where do you come from? A group of us were making our way back home from north. I've like taking a walk before we moved on. And you? My city is just beyond the Badlands. I came here to do some shooting, some target shooting. Target shooting? What's that? It's when I do when I unholster my gun, take aim, and see if I can hit the designated target, like the branch, for instance. Bullseye! Wow, I'm impressed. That looks like fun. Care to try? Give me a minute to get over there. Pretty neat moves, my friend, but can you shoot? The device is heavier than it looks. What do I do now? Simple, put it at something you want to shoot. Like that branch up there? Yeah, then what? Then you pull the trigger. Like this? I forgot to warn you about the recoil. It felt like I was getting kicked by my streaking Pusha. What the fuck's that? Here, you know what's really fun to shoot at? Something challenging, something that moves. Like that bird. No! Should never take a life of a living creature. Did he fucking die there? No, don't die on me. The bird was the target, not you, not you. I'm our son. It was not long before King Theodore, son of Alexander, discovered his son in still form lying on the ground. At first, he was unable to utter even the slightest sound, so horrified was he at the shattered sight, till his eyes chanced upon a young overlander running desperately into the forest. Despite his immeasurable loss, the king did not cry for vengeance. So he took his son home and forbade any contact with the fierce and violent people. This is why we as a people avoid use of gun-like weapons. I doubt that.
Unknown to the king, his policy would have resulted in an even greater misunderstanding, leading to decades of war. How awful, Tails!
Are you sure you're ready for more, dear readers? It doesn't take much to start a fight. Trying to stop one can lead to a catastrophe. We're all about it. The Road to Darkness. And yeah, that's the end for because next time we got another Sonic special to read, unfortunately. I really just want to get to the main Sonic stuff, but apparently we gotta read all this other bullshit because they keep publishing random shit. Thank you for reading, though. Not reading, I've been reading. You listen to me read. Thank you for listening to reading this book. Have a swell day.